Everybody, this is Perch. I think people are too hard on comics. I'm just going to lead with that right out the gate. I think that we're at such a point where I don't know if it's fun to kind of dunk on them right out the gate or whatever it happens to be, but there's become a knee jerk reaction to be pissed at comics. And you know what's funny is I don't think that's that many people. I think the people who are looking at this like solicitations and kind of rolling their eyes a lot of what they see there. I don't think it's that big a group. I don't think it's really any bigger, any smaller than the people who look at those things and go, "Yeah, this looks exciting. I can't wait to see what Raven's up to in this month." Uh, I think the most common kind of people are those who kind of look at this stuff and go, nothing here really gets me," and they just move on. I think apathy is probably the biggest crowd, which is a different problem, a big problem. But it is. I think that there's become this situation where there's an expression where you build up goodwill and you don't want to burn your goodwill. I'm sure you've heard this before. It's a common statement. It's like, hey, we're putting some stuff out for customers. We're putting some stuff out for fans. We're building a game, a movie, whatever it happens to be. We built up some goodwill with our customers, and we don't want to burn that by putting out bad product. Disney is interesting. They say this all the time where it comes to their parks and a lot of their products. They like we don't want to put this out because our guests, our customers, they expect a certain level of quality. They expect a certain level of experience. If it's not good enough, we need to can it. There's kind of this pretty famous article on one particular attraction within Disneyland. I don't remember if it's Disneyland or Disney World. It's one of those two, where they did Stitch's Great Escape, and it's a ride where you come in, you stand on something, and then it used to be like Alien Encounter, and then they rebranded it Stitch's Great Escape, but the ride sucks, and it's always sucked. And there was a lot of turmoil within Disney at the Imagineering level and at the theme park level around why do we still have this ride? This ride does not reflect the Disney brand. This ride hurts the goodwill of our company. It basically, if we have rides and experiences out there that are subpar, then it's going to start to erode people's trust that they want to spend lots of money, that they want to take out that mortgage on their house to give their family a vacation in Disney World. And I think that is an interesting comment because I think by and large, the comic companies have lost that goodwill. I think it's gone. I don't know exactly when it left, but I think the big two publishers in particular, I don't know if they realize it or not, but they're fighting to dig themselves out of a hole. The default behavior, and this is why I say I think people are too hard on comics because, I mean, look at all the anger and the crap around Future State, how terrible it was, how it was the woke apocalypse, all this kind of all these videos, all these things. It was just terrible, the worst. It was just the death of the company was Future State. And then the comics come out, and there's still plenty of weeks to come where they may. But the biggest summary that people have is there's a few good books in there, a lot of kind of just average ones, nothing super terrible. Just there, nothing, no disaster books. Just meh, just a lot of kind of average books. One thing that's interesting, by the way, just as an aside, is as I've done 2 weeks now, I really like, although I'm not sure why, but if I was DC, I would like it. I like the fact that if you look in the comments, you see very different opinions of what people like. You see some people like, the best book I read was Superman, Wonder Woman. And then the next person says, best book I read was Swamp Thing, Superman, Wonder Woman was terrible. You're not getting consistency in the opinions of these books. And I actually think that's a positive in a weird way. Because it's, if your goal is to try and appeal to a broader audience, having a widespread of opinions is not a bad thing. But regardless, a lot of people are ready to call Future State a complete and absolute failure before even a single comic shipped. And why is that? Is it just that they're angry, evil, bitter, spiteful people sitting wanting things to fail? Maybe, but probably not. I don't think that's the case, or at least, there are people within the industry like to portray these negative people as just hateful trolls and they just hate everything. But maybe these are people who have basically you've lost your goodwill. You've basically taught them to be cynical through various kind of gimmicks and shenanigans and other stuff. Nobody likes to hear this, or I don't know, maybe I don't. This isn't meant to be something anybody likes to hear anyway. But if, for example, you advertise that there's going to be a big wedding between Batman and Catwoman, and you put out a bunch of wedding special issues, and you jack up the price, and you get your comic shop to open at midnight for the Batman Catwoman wedding, and you get people to spend some more money, and then you don't do it, you basically have a whoops, just kidding, just kidding. Maybe that pisses people off. Maybe that makes people trust you a little less the next time you say, "Hey, something big and special is going on." I was watching. I think it was Tom Brevoort and somebody else. They were kind of bemoaning the fact that in the solicitations they used to be able to put, face it, true believers, you're not going to want to miss this one, and people would order more of it. And now the complaining was, when you say you're not going to miss this one, it doesn't, nobody pays attention to that anymore. Why don't people pay attention to our solicitations? Says old man shaking fist at clouds. I, maybe it's because you tricked them too many times. Maybe you had these events where it's like, this is going to change the entire Marvel universe forever and ever and ever, forever. It's going to be totally different forever. And then it wasn't. And it's like, oh, we had a huge death. It's She-Hulk. She's dead. We killed her. Can you believe we killed her? She's back. It's 4 issues later and she's back. She's returned. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Maybe, you look at an event like Fear Itself some time ago, and it promised shock deaths. I mean, this is how the solicitations read. Shocking deaths here. And it's like Bucky Barnes shockingly lost his life. And then they resurrected him in the epilogue. He was back before the event had even cooled down, before it was over. He was back. Loki. You're going to not believe that Loki is killed in the first issue of War of the Realms. No, he's back at the end. And it's the problem here, publishers, is that it's less that you killed the guy that brought him back. I think everybody expects people to be brought back. It's that you hyped it as a major turning point, a death, a shocking reveal. You're going to want to get your $4.99 ready because you're going to have to buy this. And then, you erased it all. You did it all before the event was even over. And that kind of stuff destroys goodwill. That kind of stuff is why you have a lot of fans coming on assuming your comic is going to suck out the gate. Some of them are doing it as a reaction because you said this is going to be the most amazing, best, boldest, coolest, awesomest thing in the world. And then people naturally now want to say, screw you, this is going to be terrible. They want to take the opposite position because they don't like to be told what to do. They don't like to be, they feel like they were lied to. So you've lost that credibility. You've lost that goodwill. It would be like if Disney, in this theme park analogy, said, you know what, screw those people. We want to, we need to build rides for cheaper. Make 5 more rides like that Stitch ride. And then if people start to complain and say they don't like the Stitch ride, we'll put a big banner outside saying this is the most popular ride in the entire theme park. And even though there's no line for it, nobody's spinning a fast pass to go in there, we don't care. We're just going to say the most popular ride, the whole entire theme park, it's Stitch's Great Escape. And that's the most important ride. If they do that, nobody is going to trust them. Nobody is going to believe it. And it's just, nobody's going to go on Stitch's Great Escape. It's not going to work. You can't trick people into believing that something's amazing. And so, yes, I do think people are too hard on comics. I do think this knee-jerk reaction of it's going to suck is unfounded. I think that it's a shame that we got there. At the same time, I always like to figure out why things happen for a reason. I don't believe that we just say, hey, the fans are really pissed about this. No idea why. No way of knowing why. I guess they're just dumb. No, people can overreact and do, but there's usually a reason why they do. It's usually not that they just woke up one morning and decided, hey, let's crap all over future state. That's not, it takes years to build up frustration that got us to this point. That's my opinion anyway. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Click the bell. No bells. Why do I? No bells. I just think bells are annoying. If you like them, click away, my friend. Smash that like button like you're. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Thanks for listening.